Chapter 4. The Parable of the Two Rivers. The morning mist clings to the ancient grove where the Buddha sits, his presence as steady as the earth beneath the Bodhi tree. Around him, disciples gather in a gentle circle, their faces reflecting the soft light filtering through emerald leaves. You find yourself among them, breathing in the fragrant air, touched with jasmine and the earthy scent of dew-dampened soil. Come closer, the Buddha says, his voice carrying the warmth of sunlight on water. I wish to share with you a story that illuminates the nature of time itself and the precious gift hidden within each moment. You settle onto the cool ground, feeling the rough texture of tree bark against your back. The Buddha's eyes hold depths of compassion as he begins to weave his teaching through the ancient art of parable. There was once a traveler, he says, who journeyed through lands both familiar and strange. After many days of walking, he came upon a most peculiar narrow strip of solid ground suspended between two great rivers. These were no ordinary waters, for they flowed in opposite directions, creating a sound like the eternal conversation between memory and hope. The Buddha pauses, allowing the image to settle in your mind. You can almost hear the rushing waters, feel the traveler's confusion as he stood at this crossroads of flowing time. Every opportunity missed, every choice that had led to sorrow. The traveler could see his own reflections in these waters. The child he had been, the mistakes he had made, the pain he had caused others and himself. This river sang with the voice of regret, calling to him with familiar melodies of if only and why didn't I. You feel your own memories stirring, perhaps, that harsh word you spoke to a loved one last week, or the career path you didn't take years ago. The Buddha's voice continues, gentle but penetrating. The river to his right flowed forward, its waters turbulent with possibility and fear. In its depths, the traveler glimpsed shadows of what might come, deadlines looming like storm clouds, relationships that might fail, dreams that might never manifest. This river whispered of anxieties not yet born, singing lullabies of worry that kept the soul awake at night. The description resonates deeply. You recognize this forward-flowing river. It's the one that carries your concerns about tomorrow's presentation, next month's bills, the uncertainty of aging parents, the question of whether you're living your life correctly. The traveler stood paralyzed between these two mighty forces. The Buddha continues. His left foot wanted to step backward, to somehow change what had already passed. His right foot yearned to leap forward, to control what was yet to come. But as he stood there, pulled by these opposing currents, he began to notice something extraordinary. A temple bell rings in the distance, its bronze voice carrying across the grove like a reminder of presence itself. The Buddha smiles, as if the bell had spoken exactly when needed. Beneath his feet, the ground was solid, real, and perfectly stable, while the rivers of past and future raged on either side. This narrow strip of earth, this present moment, remained unchanging in its essential nature. Here, the traveler could breathe freely. Here, he could feel the warmth of the sun on his face, the gentle breeze stirring his hair, the firm support of the earth beneath his feet. You become aware of your own breathing, the sensation of air entering and leaving your lungs. The Buddha's teaching begins to inhabit your body, not just your mind. The traveler discovered that this strip of ground, though it appeared narrow, was actually infinite in its depth and richness. When he truly stood upon it, not leaning toward yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's fears, he He found that it contained everything he needed. It held his breath, his heartbeat, his capacity to choose, his ability to love, his power to act with wisdom and compassion. In this moment, sitting in the grove, you understand. The present isn't a thin line between past and future. It's a vast space of possibility available to you right now. You feel your shoulders relax, tension you didn't know you were carrying beginning to dissolve. This is the secret that the rivers could not teach, the Buddha says, his voice becoming softer, more intimate. The past river carries wisdom, yes, but it cannot be changed. The future river holds potential, certainly, but it cannot be controlled. Only in the present moment do we have the power to transform our experience of both. The teaching settles into your heart like seeds finding fertile soil. You think of your own life, how often you've stood at that crossroads, torn between regret and anxiety, missing the solid ground of this very moment. When you wake tomorrow morning, the Buddha continues, notice how your mind immediately reaches for the past river or the future river. See if you can instead feel your feet on the ground of now. As you drink your morning tea, taste it fully. As you greet your family, see them with fresh eyes. As you begin your work, bring your whole presence to the task at hand. The practical application becomes clear. In your office, when stress builds, you can return to this image finding the solid ground between rivers of past and future. In difficult conversations, instead of defending yesterday's words or fearing tomorrow's consequences, you can speak from the clarity of the present moment. The traveler eventually learned to walk along this strip of ground. The Buddha concludes, he discovered that the present moment moves with him, always available, always offering the stability he had been seeking in the rushing waters of time. He learned to use the past river as a source of wisdom, gleaning insights from its depths without drowning in its currents. He learned to use the future river as a compass, allowing its possibilities to guide his present actions without being swept away by its uncertainties. A gentle wind stirs the leaves above, creating a natural mandala of light and shadow that dances across the gathering. You feel profoundly peaceful, as if something essential has been restored to its proper place within you. This is the practice of mindfulness, the Buddha says, his words flowing like a benediction. Not the grasping after past or future, but the gentle returning to the only moment in which life actually occurs. Each time you remember to place your feet on this ground of now, you reclaim your power to respond rather than react, to choose rather than be chosen for. The teaching ends, but its resonance continues. You sit quietly, feeling the earth beneath you, the breath within you, the spaciousness that opens when you stop being pulled by the rivers of time. As the group begins to disperse, the Buddha's eyes meet yours with a knowing smile. Tomorrow, we will explore what happens when we try to build bridges across these rivers, the nature of attachment and the freedom that comes with letting go. But for now, simply rest in this moment. Feel how complete it is, how perfectly it provides everything you need. You remain seated a moment longer, savoring this experience of presence. The question forms gently in your mind. What if every moment could be this solid ground? What if the peace you feel right now is always available, waiting just beneath the surface of your busy life?